Well, with this just hitting, I want to say welcome to everybody here. It's your boy Carcino. Let's get into it. Want to first give a shout out to everybody who watched the video but did not comment on the Patreon. Um, First off, I'm glad you liked the video. I don't know how many people actually got a chance to see the video. They probably was asleep. More people probably watch it today, but it's quite interesting. Now, the way I look at it, it's clear. You have a lot of different people with their points of view and how they see things, see the world. Then you got other people, like I say, see it for what it is. Chris Rock is doing what's best for Chris Rock. Again, I know Chris Rock's people, talent agents, and everything else. I got all that information as well, right in my phone. But I know how they're going to play this, and I knew how they were going to play it. I mean, Chris was not going to blow his bag, and he wasn't going to give you what you wanted, and that is to basically give it up for free doing his ego death tour. No, this is too monumental. This will be discussed by Chris when Chris is ready to discuss it, which means when all the money is pushed to the front of the table, which is essential because that's what it's all about. You know, he doesn't have Will Smith money. He got money, but he ain't got Will Smith money. And at the end of the day, he wants to get paid. Man wants to get paid. Now, he had a 2 series deal with Netflix, right? Now, this was back during the pandemic because everybody was at home watching stuff. So he was able to set a record with his new Netflix called this, you know, I forgot what was it, some type of stand up he did back then. I know he did Tangerine, so I forgot what he did. He had like 2 specials where he was getting 20 million per special. So Louis C.K. and Jerry Seinfeld, Louis C.K. was scheduled to make more money than that, but he didn't get it due to his controversy and everything that went down. Seinfeld got about the same, if not a little bit less. So after he done these things here, he had did a world tour. Uh, and once when he did the world tour, they was going to record it. They were going to put it out. So he's getting 20 million a pop. They made way more money on those 2 specials of Chris Rock than they did on a lot of people's comedy specials who we won't name, who they paid an exceptional amount of money for and basically took a loss. One of those people was the host of the Oscars. We won't say no names. But they took a loss. And one of the other persons, who also was a co-host of the Oscars, did better than that person, but was paid substantially less. Now, there were a lot of different perspectives into this, saying that Chris Rock is getting ready to negotiate a new Netflix deal. But actually, what he actually done is created a bidding war because Hulu, Amazon, and HBO are both making a substantial play for Chris Rock's new specials. So this is why Chris isn't saying anything, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Rock is playing this to the letter, and he's doing it the right way. He's fin to get paid, ladies and gentlemen. Substantial. HBO Max is now in the streaming play now, where they want to start building their comedy. Because they know their comedy specials is what is like a driving force to bring people to watch, entertain. Groups of people watch comedy specials more repeatedly than a lot of other programming that they have. Almost as much as a series, if not more in some cases. So comedy specials always work. Now, if you got the right comedy special, oh, everybody's gonna eat for a good period of time. And they know that for streaming platforms. That's why concert DVDs for comedies, if you were making a concert movie, you made a substantial amount of money. If you were somebody big, this is why Cat Williams had money when people didn't know Cat Williams had money. He produced his own shows. He could sell them to all the cable networks that he wanted. So he was in control at that point. Now, now that Chris Rock is a big draw on what they call the SVOD platforms, this is an aggressive bidding war with a huge price tag for any new material, and everybody's waiting for this material. So he's got the golden egg. You're talking about 40 million for the next special. You're looking in a category of that being on the table for Chris Rock. Yes, Amazon and Hulu definitely are interested. HBO Max is interested. Netflix definitely want to keep the relationship that they already have with Chris going. But this is a bidding war. Netflix made a mistake by only doing a 2-show deal with Chris Rock without having the right of refusal or the right to match. He was basically free to renegotiate without any type of connection or obligation to return. They don't even get the match. If he gets a better deal somewhere and he wants to take it, he can just go. So he's already served his deal when all of this took place. So now, if he do go back to Netflix or whatever, anybody, it's going to be substantial. But he already have a relationship with Netflix, so they already in the driver's seat. He's already has a good sense of what he wants to do. He has a relationship with Netflix where he wants to produce films and television series and bring them to Netflix. And they have been very, comedian friendly with Netflix. And the way they've treated Dave Chappelle, and the situation he was in, a lot of people were watching that to see if they was going to stand by Dave. Because if they weren't going to stand by Dave, that could affect a lot of other business with like people like Chris Rock, Jerry Seinfeld, and other comedians. Now, Chris is somebody that could have got me too. He was very close. to getting it. Um, but he, you know, had very talented people who didn't want to see that happen to him, you know. And they weren't about to put themselves in a position where that would happen. Where other people took that leap of faith and went and actually did the thing, you know, went all the way. Now, they careers did get helped, but it kind of gave them a black eye when it started getting leaked to the public. Um, Crazy, crazy times. Oh man, I mean, you look at it now. A lot of people say why Chris Rock and his brother Tony don't like do comedy together, or why he don't never bring his brother along. A lot of people ask that question. I was pissed with Chris for a minute because it was like he totally changed. It's people grow up, people make mistakes. Everybody's human, you know. But when you start getting bougie and you start acting different when you don't need to, people are gonna have a problem with that. And I had a huge problem with it. So other people might not have noticed, but when I ran into Chris Rock at that comedy club, and you know Jerry Seinfeld and them guys were there, and I had a conversation with Jerry. You know, it's very rare. I'm quite sure the people I was with and everyone else, they don't know who Jerry Seinfeld is. You know, most of them just like he looked familiar, but they know Rock. You know, like, yo, it's Chris Rock. And that's who they didn't want to run into. Me, I knew Jerry Seinfeld, I knew everybody at that table, plus the acts that we were there to see. Now, once I was talking to Jerry, I didn't even want to talk to Chris because I already know how Chris is. And I didn't want to really get into an engagement with Chris Rock because like I said, I know how he is. So talking to Jerry, and I know how Jerry is at times. But once I said, you know, a name of a comedian that Jerry knew, like, okay, well, this guy's on the level. So Jerry was relaxed. So when Jerry was calm and collected, he should have known it was okay because Jerry was cool. Jerry was all right, I'm relaxing. Okay, this is no regular guy that's just walking up. So, yeah, it's a different situation. But Rock made it very uncomfortable. And he made the people that was around me upset with him. Like, man, you see how Rock was acting? And it made him have to make a response video. Once I made the video, he ended up like replying to the why he acts the way he does. Then you have a situation where Rock had a lot of problems going on. But Tony has always done his own thing, even though they brothers. Tony don't want to be in the shadow of Chris. Like, oh, that's Chris Rock, little brother. He don't want to do the comedic brother routine because he don't want something he say to blow back on Chris. So it's a lot of times people don't even know they related. And that's even now. If you didn't see Tony Rock doing his comedy show, it's very rare people even, they was like, oh, they related. Man, that is weird. But it wasn't because he hates his brother and none of that. No, he just basically saying, you're going to do your own thing. I'll help you from the sidelines. But I don't want to shadow you. You know, because you don't want people going, oh, Chris Rock probably wrote that for him. But it did seem like his brother was out there on the chitlin circuit far too long while his brother is making multi-million-dollar films, eating steak and all these award shows, but Tony's out there on the grind. But that's Tony. Now, in 2000, I believe 26 is going to start the new streaming. Like, they're going to have individual streaming. Like, people could have their own channel and people could just pay for what they want to distribute. They've talked about it a lot, but it's so much now that it's going to be crazy that YouTube is going to have like a pay service. You could pay to do all this. And I'm like, they got that now. YouTube is its own television network. If you want to watch certain movies, all you got to do is pay, or if you have Premiere, you get most of this stuff for free. So you got to pay for content and everything else. In 2026, what they're trying to do is to say, okay, you like this podcast show. This show wants to charge people $5.99 a month or $6.99 a month for this, like, let's say Joe Rogan's podcast. Instead of you seeing it for free or something online, you got to pay to hear this content or see the video. Like you see the Breakfast Club, you get to watch it on YouTube for free. Now you have to pay a subscriptional fee. And you'll still get free content on YouTube. But now some of it won't be included in their premium package. Then they're talking about YouTube pay-per-view. It's a lot of different things that are coming within the next 4 years. A lot of it that's going to exclude a lot of creators who like to create. A lot of them are going to be put in a bubble, and a lot of them are going to be pushed out the circle. So people don't even have a clue that the majority of these things are happening. These changes are in the works, and there's a lot of weird things going on here. People have made life difficult for some. They've changed what the YouTube concept is supposed to be about, because they want to make it more about what they like about YouTube rather than what it should be. And that's how you get bad characters. Now, the scale and the scope of things, you're going to start to see a lot of people move in a different direction. Other people thought they could compete with YouTube, and they failed because YouTube has enough revenue to where they could crush anything that's trying to run up against it. So you're going to lose so much money, and for how long before anything you do try to start taking off. Google runs it. Google can't let YouTube fail. and it doesn't. So anybody saying, hey, we're going to create our own platform, we're going to do this, you don't have the backing. You're going to need something unique in order to do something like that. You're going to have need a unique experience to what YouTube don't have that they can offer. And if you don't have that, you're going to lose money before you even make one dime. You're going to be making and spending and spending and spending just to try to keep up with bandwidth and everything else. It's not as easy as it's laid out to be. Now, I remember this one creator on social media reached out to me and said, oh, I have my own social media channel or page, or I got my own network. We got our own thing going. We got our own radio station or whatever. It's black owned network or whatever. And it's all black owned. I want you to be on the show and such and such. And I said, wow, this month is not going to work. This month is 100% not going to make it. Oh, why not? What's going on? Well, for instance, I'm booked. This is my busiest month, really. It's the end of the year. I'm not going to be able to accommodate you, but let's make us something I could put you on the schedule. And I had never agreed to do it. I just said, all right, we never picked the date, we never picked the time. This person went out ahead and just, oh, you Hollywood. See, that's what I thought. Yep, I knew, all talk. And all I said was, let's make another day. Or let's find a time where we can agree to do it. You can't just say, oh, I'm going live right now. Like, I don't have anything going on. And get mad because I got something to do and I'm busy. So all that did was show me I was not supposed to do anything with that person anyway. That's all it showed me. That person will block their own blessings. And they will always be in the way. God is showing you, see? Stay away from people like that. Now, to segue it back to Chris is finally, for the first time in his career, he's in the driver's seat. The Will Smith slap was basically, he should thank Will Smith. This has made Chris Rock the richest comedian next to Dave Chappelle now. He is finna break the bank because he's right in renegotiation mode. Now, everything that he had on the table, all the bidding wars, everybody's coming hard. HBO is going to come super hard because they had Chris Rock. They got the Chris Rock show. They have his concert specials. So HBO already had a relationship with him before Netflix, but they didn't make a big bid, at least outbid Netflix when he had his other two specials. They were just like, whatever. So Netflix believed. So they would have the first, if I'm just assuming because I haven't talked to Chris or his people yet, I'm probably going to call them on Monday when everybody's fresh in the office. But I'm quite sure they already have it in the plans or the works that this is the direction they want to go down. They're gonna move accordingly, and they're gonna set this up to where it's done the right way. All the other comedians are getting their jokes off, but everybody's waiting to hear what Chris is gonna say and when is he going to say it. But I'm thinking he's waiting to, all of this is like over which it basically is. See how Will is doing with his recovery and all the stuff he's doing, his spiritual health, thing that he's on, his spiritual journey of healing. So while we're waiting for that and everything else, this is going to be huge for Chris Rock. He should relish in it, because this happens very rarely when you get a chance to hit him twice. So oh yeah, definitely hit the like button. Um, just like the banner says, you got my right cash app in there, which is Carcino. You got Carcino for life on the Patreon, and you got the YouTube Carcino for life for you guys to subscribe, like, you know. So I do want to appreciate everybody who has super chatted. No one forgot about you guys. Appreciate everything. All you guys, man. You guys are definitely the ones that keep the ship moving forward. I even though I'll be dead tired, I give you everything I got. So I'm gonna get out of here. God bless y'all.